Welcome to Inside Gaming. I'm Brian. It's weekend roundup time. So guys, it's no secret that Blizzard not doing so great these days. So to turn things around, they're going to their old warhorse. That's right, World of Warcraft. They announced a brand new expansion. And while WoW has definitely seen better days, it's definitely still a golden goose for Blizzard. And this week they announced an expansion called Dragonflight, where you, wait for it, you ride dragons. You already know. So the trailer was met with generally positive reactions. It was a little bit slower than other trailers announcing expansions in the past. A lonely stone statue kind of dude stole the show, no question. Looks like he uses the Eye of Sauron to call up a bunch of colorful dragons. So yeah, there you go. They're dragons, but lots of different colors that you'll have to farm. You get to fly them. So there you go. It's kind of hard though to tell what the reception was like on YouTube since they've hid dislikes like a bunch of cowards. But the comments that I read seemed to trend positive. As one commenter, Surf Refurf, put it, the art team is the last pillar of this company, which it's a compliment, but also very much not a compliment. Over on the World of Warcraft subreddit, reaction was definitely mixed. The top commenter, an actual platypus, wrote, honestly, I felt like that trailer had nothing to do with Warcraft at all. If that was a trailer for How to Train Your Dragon 4, I would have believed it. Well done, actual platypus. You should write funny stuff. Others liked it though. Reddit user Caldricus wrote, this was a very refreshing trailer as opposed to another big world ending bad, or here's the Horde character to hate this expansion. It felt more like Mists of Pandaria, which was my favorite expansion. So there you go, a little behind the scenes into the life of Caldricus. Now, the new expansion will introduce player to a new area called the Dragon Isles. There's a new playable dragon race called the Drakthir, and yeah, you'll get to ride dragons. Of course, that's what this is all about. Blizzard also said that Dragonflight will see changes like the game's, quote, largest talent system revamp yet, improvements to the HUD, and new crafting and profession systems. Now, of course, this all comes as Blizzard is trying to staunch the bleeding of a very rough 2021. It's been marked by sexual harassment scandals, lawsuits, walkouts. Millions of players are jumping ship too. According to their fourth quarter earnings call a few months ago, Blizzard showed a graphic of their monthly active users, and based on that, it appears lots of people are abandoning Blizzard games. It shows that they lost apparently 5 million users during 2021, despite releasing 2 games in 2021, Diablo 2 Resurrected and WoW Burning Crusade Classic. Shadowlands came out in 2020, so they did release content, which Blizzard doesn't always do, but people left in droves. We don't have numbers broken out for World of Warcraft, but it's been true for a while now that it has been losing a lot of the spotlight to Final Fantasy XIV, a rival MMO. Its expansion Endwalker released in December. Now, WoW's last big expansion was Shadowlands in 2020, but that proved controversial. Lots of people didn't like it. Some people jumped ship for other games. Others just left because they don't want to support a company that's behind so many awful headlines, which is totally valid. In a live stream announcing the new expansion, WoW game director Ian Hazakostas said that community feedback during the Shadowlands period led to the team, quote, re-examining some of the assumptions and foundations of World of Warcraft about things like character investment and mains versus alts, or how catch-up should work, or the appropriate role of friction in our systems. Translated, that means we know a lot of you didn't like it and we listened to your feedback. So we don't have a release date yet for Dragonlands, but they're currently taking signups for a beta test. We'll get to the rest of the stories in just a second, but first, guys, let's talk about a brand new podcast that you should totally check out. Let me ask you a question. Do you ever find yourself awake in the middle of the night reading real life stories that make your skin crawl, like the creepy history behind Victorian nursery rhymes, or the tales of sleep paralysis demons? Maybe you've seen the haunting images of corpses on Mount Everest, you've read the last meal requests of death row prisoners, or you've experimented with seances and spirit boards, which you should never ever do. Don't you watch any movies? Don't do that. Well, if you've ever wondered, hey, what the heck exactly is necrocannibalism? Then 30 Morbid Minutes is a podcast that's new. You're gonna love it. It's hosted by Elise Williams and Jessica Vasami. Each episode investigates a new topic ranging from macabre to morbid to just downright creepy. It's sourced straight from history and the headlines of today. Elise and Jessica kill it. They're great hosts. I've listened to the podcast. I love it too. I'm Creepy stuff isn't necessarily my thing, but it's just so darn entertaining. Subscribe now to 30 Morbid Minutes on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts. New episodes are every Tuesday and Mondays for RT First members. On to the rest of the story. Could we get a Portal 3 one day? The writer of the series sure hopes so. Erik Wolpaw, who co-wrote Portal and Portal 2, said on the Kiwi Talks podcast that he wants to get going on a third installment of the famed series sooner rather than later. On the podcast, he said, "We've got to start Portal 3. That's my message to whoever." He added, "I'm not getting any younger." I get you, Erik. I totally feel you, dude. We are reaching the point where it's crazy to think that we're literally going to be too old to work on Portal 3, so we should just do it. But he also admitted it might not be easy to get a new game off the ground, especially at Valve. He pointed out they got 300 employees, and he said there's a lot of opportunity costs to taking 75 people and trying to get a game made. As much as it seems like Valve often is just a bunch of people sitting around sipping gin and tonics by a pool, everyone's working. I would love to work at a sipping gin and tonics by the pool company. The host suggested that Portal 3, though, would be profitable, to which Wolpaw replied, "The problem is you would make money, but what kind of money will you make? Are you going to make Counter-Strike GO money? Probably not." And then he added, "But having said that, maybe every game doesn't need to make Counter-Strike GO money. You know, Gabe, if you're listening. I can tell you, Portal 3, that would make a lot of money. And if it was good, it would make an ungodly amount of money. Just saying." Nintendo has been hit with a labor complaint alleging that it violated contractors' rights to unionize. A complaint filed with the National Labor Relations Board here in the US claims that Nintendo of America and global hiring firm Aston Carter engaged in concerted activities and made coercive actions against a worker, interfering with their legally protected right to organize. Aston Carter, if you're wondering, they have recruited customer service and administrative contractors for Nintendo. The details of what happened aren't known. The complaint just lists broad charges, not specifics, but Axios reported that the allegations were likely to include claims of surveillance, threats, retaliations, and either a layoff or a refusal to hire. Yikes. Unionization, of course, has been a big topic lately in gaming. Some workers at Activision Blizzard started a union drive in January, and Raven Software, of course, their employees are in a labor dispute with Activision Blizzard as well. Speaking of Nintendo, if you've been wanting to play Game Boy Advance games on your Switch, it looks like that could happen sooner rather than later. There have been some leaked Game Boy and Game Boy Advance emulators that were posted online recently, and experts think, at least some experts think, they were officially developed. Ars Technica talked to some experts who said that the emulators showed signs of being official products of Nintendo's European Research and Development Division. That division has also worked on software for the NES Classic, the SNES Classic, and GameCube emulation. Now, Nintendo hasn't confirmed anything, but one source told Ars Technica that they were, quote, 99% sure the emulators are real, and that personally, I am absolutely convinced of its legitimacy. So maybe they're going to add this to the expansion pack, what they're offering there, or maybe they could charge more. They wouldn't charge more. You know what? It's Nintendo. Never say never. FromSoftware is once again in the news after the wildly successful launch of Elden Ring, and with acquisitions being all the rage these days, could FromSoftware get gobbled up too? One analyst definitely thinks so, talking about Dr. Serkan Toto, CEO of the gaming consultancy company Kantan Games. He tweeted that From is, quote, currently rumored to be an acquisition target by Sony. Now, there is some history there. Sony has a stake in From Software's parent company, the Katakawa Corporation, who acquired From in 2014. Sony bought a nearly 2% stake in Katakawa last year. Maybe Sony could just make an offer to From. They could say, hey, can y'all just spin From out and we'll buy it from you? You never know. This is just speculation. From does seem like a fit for Sony, and these days they're probably at least talking about the possibility, given how much Microsoft is buying up. Microsoft is probably talking about buying From Software too. It would not surprise me, given how good their games are. Elden Ring, definitely a Game of the Year contender, so we will see. All right, time for a 5-second review. This was way better than the last Star Wars movie. I know that's not saying much, but it was. All right, let's talk about the games coming out next week. First up, Dune Spice Wars. This is a real-time strategy game with 4X elements from the developers of the critically acclaimed Northgard. It's set in Frank Herbert's groundbreaking Dune universe. You must lead your faction and battle for control and dominance over the harsh desert planet of Arrakis. Comes to PC April 26th. The Serpent Rogue is a botanical action-adventure game set in a medieval fantasy world. Master the art of alchemy, explore forgotten lands, tame wild beasts, and protect the realm from impending disaster. You will craft, brew, boil, and concoct potions, all in your quest to defeat an ominous danger. It comes to PC, PS5, Xbox Series X, and Switch April 26th. Vampire Masquerade Blood Hunt. This is a thrilling free-to-play battle royale game set in Prague, which is consumed by a ruthless war between vampire clans. Use your supernatural powers, weapons, and wit to hunt your rivals and dominate the night. Comes to PS5 April 27th. It might come to other platforms too, but definitely PS5. Kaiju Wars. Play out a kaiju movie as the hopelessly outclassed military in the stylish 2D turn-based strategy of Kaiju Wars. Construct buildings and defend your city with cannon fodder, tanks, as the devastating kaiju grows in power with every attack. Comes to PC April 28th. Capital Sparks of Revolution, or Capital Sparks of Revolution. This is a sandbox economic simulation game about class struggle. A European country is in a deep political crisis. You're the mayor of the capital. Social unrest is inevitable. What price are you willing to pay to save your country from anarchy? Comes to PC April 28th. Trigon Space Story. Take command of your very own spaceship, carry out tactical battles, defend your vessel against space pirates, and escape from enemy territory. On your voyages, you'll face a slew of tricky decisions in your quest to uncover the mystery of the galaxy. Comes to PC April 28th. And last but not least, Nintendo Switch Sports. Get moving with soccer, volleyball, bowling, tennis, badminton, and Kambara. That's sword play, apparently, using Joy-Con controllers. Controls are intuitive, so you can hit the court or lanes or field or arena and get started. With controlled motions, you can curve your bowling ball, add spin to a tennis shot, or even use a Joy-Con with the leg strap accessory to kick the ball in a soccer shootout. Family and friends can join in on the fun on the same system or online. Plus, a seventh sport is planned to be added via a free update this fall. Get ready to golf. I guess that's the seventh sport. Comes to Switch April 29th. That's all the news I got for you this week, guys. I hope you're having a great weekend. We'll see you soon.